All right.
Hello, everybody. We are live, and we are here tonight with singer-songwriter John Ezzo.
Sorry, it's funny because
Go ahead.
people add letters to my name all the time.
Is that crazy?
So yeah, Ezzo.
But you're a native to New Jersey here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about why you stick around New Jersey.
My father had the brilliant idea of moving to New Jersey out of New York.
Yeah.
And he wanted a central location or somewhere that he could have a job either in Philly or New Jersey or New York. So he planted our flag in the South Brunswick area, which is where I live to this day. And
you like South Brunswick?
I love it. I love it there.
Okay, cool.
I love it there. I grew up there, went to school there, still live there, and have dozens and dozens and dozens of friends that I maintain friendships with to this day, and they support me and support my music, and they're great people.
And who are some of your friends that I do know?
Oh well, Gino and Kim.
Yep.
And Nick
Clements. Yes.
Frank Pinto, right?
Yes, I know Frank.
Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
A little shout out to Frankie there. Great songwriter. Frankie writes some really good stuff. We've been kind of swapping, stories and music, he's really supportive of me. Lots of people. Kevin, I know you know Kevin McGowan.
Oh, Kevin's a great guy.
Kevin's a great guy.
Yeah.
And Linda,
she's another good artist.
Yeah, see how we met. You and I was through the Friendlies open mic, and that's kind of where that was one of the first places I started going after the pandemic was moved away. I had been a musician. Oh, I shouldn't say musician. I had been a closet musician, let's say, as a kid, a teenager, in bands, all that cool stuff. And then, like John Lennon said, life is what happens to you while you're busy making plans. And, got married, had kids, and never stopped playing, but stopped really performing, stopped writing, not stopped writing, but stopped doing things and stopped playing. And then the pandemic hit, and we were all bored, and we all, were looking for things to do.
Right.
So I found my guitar, and I started playing, and I had forgotten how much I loved it. And I had this group of friends, ironically through radio, through satellite radio on Sirius. There was an all music channel. Unfortunately, it's no longer there. That's tragic that it's no longer. But it was all talk radio, just about music, like sports radio. Yeah, only about music.
Okay.
And a bunch of us became friends during the pandemic. We found each other, all these fans of this, and we are now known as the Volume Maniacs. So if you have my CDs, which we'll get into how you get my CDs later on, if you have my CDs, on both of the CDs, I thank the Volume Maniacs because I started doing Facebook Live, as we're doing right now.
Right.
I started doing some Facebook Live little, shows just to, we were all trapped in our house. So I had a captive audience and people were bored. They couldn't go out and see real performers. So they started watching me, and a few people were like, John, you really should do this when it's all over. And so that's what I did. I just started to as soon as and Friendlies was that's a very long answer to a very short question. That, I started playing at Friendlies, and then, everything else just kind of morphed from there.
It's interesting, John, because when we were talking at Friendlies, we were talking about your favorite band. Who is?
My favorite band is Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah. I always hesitate with that because they're such a polarizing band, Kiss, and they my musical taste varies so much beyond them, but they were the band that
they did it for you.
Yeah. They were the band that, like, I was like, wow, what the heck is this? And that made me want to pick up the guitar.
Right.
And that's what did it for me. But really, the first musical influence I had was Elvis Presley.
You can tell Jerry that. Jerry will love you forever.
No, that was my dad won an Elvis Presley album. We were walking on the boardwalk in Seaside, and he played one of those games or whatever. You roll the thing, spin wheel or whatever, and he won an Elvis Presley album. And I was just captivated at I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I was just captivated with the idea that he won this. And I was just looking at it, and he was like, "Do you want it?" Because I was just so captivated by it. I was like, "Yeah," and I still have that album to this day, and I played it like crazy, and I was infatuated with Elvis. I just went nuts over him, so he was my first real like musical, thing that I loved. But my musical taste like vary through so much music because I have all older siblings. So, so through my one sister, I got Barbara Streisand and Donna Summer, and through my other sister, I got the B-52s and Patti Smith and Billy Joel, and then my brother, it was Zeppelin and Foreigner and Boston. So all this music, and then my parents, my dad loved Jim Croce and John Denver and Hank Williams Sr., Charlie Pride, a lot of country stuff.
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
And my mom
everything
was an Italian from Brooklyn, so Frank Sinatra,
Dean Martin, all the same ones.
But the eclectic sounds that were going through the house, was great. I heard so much different music out there that it was just crazy.
Compared to the early '60s or early '50s. And I know this is hard for musicians to designate. Where do you think the most influence between Elvis Presley, I get it, and the Beatles and Kiss? I mean, the Kiss didn't come out to 70 something.
74 was their first album.
And the Beatles were out between 60 and
63,
64.
Yeah, they hit the U.S. in 64, but their first album, I think, was like 62.
Which decade do you think impacted you more? Was it the 60s or the 70s?
Why it might be the 80s actually.
See, you're way off.
as far as my musical, I guess the people, my musical song styling as a writer would probably be the 70s and the 80s, like a combination of those two. Because the 60s I went back to and learned about. For me it was the 70s and the 80s were my wheelhouse. That was the music that I grew up listening to and was captivated by. And it wasn't until later on that I said, you know what, there were things before that. And I went back. Besides Elvis, there were things like the Beatles and the Stones and, so many, the Eric Clapton with Cream and Jimi Hendrix and all that stuff. I went back to find that stuff. So I would say that, my songwriting is more in the 70s and the 80s, time frame is kind of, I'm trapped in that era, right?
Well, that reflects in a lot of your songs. We were just talking about one of his songs. He played it earlier for me. Yeah. And it was the first time I heard it. It was called
So Wrong, that one?
No, Wasting My Time. And here's a songwriter that doesn't really know me that well. I didn't know what he put in the song because it's the first time I really heard it. Yeah. But I told him it sounds like a Tom Petty song. And he's like, oh, I put a riff from one of his albums. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's I wish that the vibe of the song that I was going for with the song was a Tom Petty kind of feel. And so much so that he did an album in the late 80s called Let Me Up, I've Had Enough. Mm-hmm. And I threw that album title as a lyric in the song.
That's awesome.
And I did that on purpose.
That's really cool.
Kind of as a little tip of the cap to Tom Petty. And
awesome.
And the fact that you picked that off in like 30 seconds is quite impressive. That was pretty cool.
Well, again, if you're trying to convey something to somebody and they don't even know what they're listening to and they catch it right away, you've obviously got what you needed to do. and it worked, and it worked.
Cool. No, and that's like that is what has kept me smiling the last 2.5 years since I put the first album out. You know, it's amazing the feedback I've gotten, the positive things that have happened since the first album came out, and people coming to me and saying, like a guy like Frankie telling me that I'm a good songwriter, somebody as seasoned as him, somebody who's been doing it that long, to say, you know, you're a pretty good songwriter. That's crazy, you know, or what, you know, or a guy like Nick Clemens, you know, seeing me at the Big Man's Bash and playing at the Big Man's Bash, not this past year before. I played there twice, but the first year playing there, and he came over and said, "You're good," and he said, "I dig your record. I dig your album a lot." That Clarence Clemens kid telling me that that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know. So I got to pinch myself sometimes.
All right, so we're going to get back to this, guys, but we're going to hear some music from him. What do you want to do? You want to do your guitar, or do you want to do songs from your
what we could do is, if we could play "Wasting My Time," so everybody can kind of get a feel for what we were just talking about. It's a nice segue into it.
That's it.
Plus, it's also a song that I feel didn't get, when the album came out, didn't feel it get enough. I didn't feel it got enough.
Oh, I'm going to play this.
Okay.
That and So Wrong. Oh yeah, they're definitely two songs
I'll
be playing.
And we'll get into So Wrong got some attention, but "Wasting My Time" was not a song that people came to me and said, you know what, I dig that tune. That's a pretty good song.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna try that.
Yeah, Ruben, can we is laptop on? Yeah.
And I believe it's queued up. I just had to hit play.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys tell me when we're
soon as he's ready. You good? Yep, go ahead.
All right, here we go.
I got Ruben doing the engineering.
When we first began, all the things we would say, what else could be said or done? We try to love but hurt everyone. Speaking now we're home peace. Do you want me to stay? Do you want me to go? It's time I start speaking my mind. Do you want to live? Do you want to go? Or am I just wasting my time? I look back now, I don't understand. See the light would go separate ways. So look in the eyes and make it clear. We try to stay alive or disappear. It's time to play the show.
You turn the mic off here.
I've never seen so hard to live without
Good. Very good. So where can everybody get your CD at?
Okay, so the CD, you can get both my CDs at ezzomusic.com. So EZZOMUSIC, ezzomusic, one word.com. And they're both available for purchase on the website. And then also they're available everywhere music is streaming. So you can, if you Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, you name it, Amazon Music, it's everywhere. iTunes, Apple. So everywhere you can stream music, you can listen to it. And then, but if you want the CD, you want the physical product, they are available.
Let me ask you this as a music artist, as a fellow music artist too. Your thoughts on YouTube for music artists? Because I always feel that you work hard on your music. You create it. You put it out there. You get the producer. You get the band. You pay for the CD. You get it mastered. And then you put it out there. I know the idea is to have the music go everywhere. That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's a certain point where musicians, I feel like they just give it away sometimes. And I feel that doesn't benefit them by putting it on YouTube. Yeah, it's exposure. But if people can hear it on YouTube, and I'm not just saying you, this is many other artists.
Yeah.
If they can hear it on YouTube, why would they want to go buy it? And I think if you do it a 30-second YouTube, like that cut right there,
Yeah.
people say, oh my God, this album's got to be great because I heard a couple cuts from it.
Yeah. It's
like a teaser. But when you put the whole song there, they just don't want to, they'll just record it or something.
Yeah. It's
like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, because you want the exposure. If this was my main income, I'd probably be more angry, but because
in respect to what you're saying, a lot of musicians, like my friend Boyd Williams in Ohio, one of the greatest blues guitarists since Eric Clapton, and he's the one that played with Fleetwood Mac,
Okay.
and also he was on tour with England Dan and John Ford Coley with the same artist, and also Seals and Croft.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
So to him, it is his life's blood.
Yeah. Yeah. See, for a guy like me who's just kind of doing this to have some fun, and it's pretty interesting.
Right.
And do I find it interesting or cute, whatever you want to call it, when I look at my bank account and I see a deposit from Spotify for like $12 or whatever for 3 months worth of streaming or whatever, it's funny, but it's not funny, because I automatically go to the people who are being streamed a heck of a lot more than me. But that's their life. That's their living. That's how they are trying to make their living. The days of, the double platinum albums, and those days are gone. I mean, but for me, I love having it out there that people can listen to it anywhere they want to hear it. But there's definitely it's double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword that you kind of just have to deal with and understand. If it was my lifeblood and I was counting on it to pay the bills, I'd be more angry.
Yeah. But they still give it away.
Yeah.
Because of, just like you said, exposure.
Yeah.
Artists want to be, they want their music out there to everywhere, as many places as can be. And at the same time, they have to give and take. And usually they give and don't take anything back.
Well, unless you're Taylor Swift. Because she's, and my daughter will love the fact that I just threw that out there.
My daughters too.
Yeah.
They both love Taylor Swift.
But but she's found a way.
She's a great businesswoman.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
She's found a way to have people still buy the product, the CD, because both my daughters buy her music, and but it's all about the live show now. That's the only way. That's why these artists are in their 80s and they're still out there, because it's a way for them to still maintain those dollars. And the ticket prices are even worse because they make no money through streaming. They make no money creating like you brought up my favorite band. Okay. Kiss made a few new albums in the last 15 years. Okay. But they stopped. They made one in 2009 and then they made another one in 2012. And then after they did that, they said, why bother? Nobody's listening and nobody's buying it. So why bother? Now, it's a shame they feel that way. But
it's the truth.
Yeah. But then the flip side is Bruce Springsteen, who continues to make new music all the time. And he's doing it for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it's about for him. Although he probably still makes a decent amount because his fans will still buy. Like I buy the CD.
Yeah, sure.
I still buy the CD. It's getting harder and harder to find them. It really is. I mean, there's no more record stores anymore.
I know, and I kind of missed that.
Man, do I miss that.
Oh, Laura Sismack says she loves your music.
Well, she does. She's a very good friend.
All right, Laura.
So thank you, Laura, for tuning in.
My eyes are so bad I can't even see that. I swear.
But no, so Laura's a very good
I can
friend.
see better now.
She is very supportive. She's actually going to be singing.
Timmy Floodman.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim. How are you?
Tim,
how are you doing?
No, but Laura is going to be singing with me at a couple of my shows.
Nice.
She's got a really good voice, and I saw her. We've known each other since we were much younger. She grew up across the street from my wife, so we've known each other for a long time. And I didn't know she could sing until very recently, and she was on Facebook Live, and she posted something about she was at a karaoke, and I was like, hey, she can sing.
Well, that's like my friend. Sharon and Marie. She's a good friend, Priscilla. She's an awesome person. She sang "All Out of Love" with Air Supply, the original Air Supply on Smule. Okay. And Smule, for people that are out there, it's like a karaoke, but it's a real voice thing. The music plays in the background. You get to pick people you can sing with, and they picked her to sing with.
Okay.
And I thought it was pretty cool because she's a local music artist. She does a lot of Karen Carpenter and stuff like that in the early 70s, and Olivia Newton-John. But at the same time, she loves stuff like that. Yeah. And they welcomed her. They gave the thumbs up at the end. So that's got to make a musician or a singer feel so good inside.
It does.
When you have somebody that is somebody you look up to.
Absolutely. Whether it's been like I mentioned earlier with Frank or Nick, saying that they like my stuff, that's a cool thing, and it's something that I don't take for granted, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and I just want to keep playing.
Well, I hope you bring this man here is going to be having a radio show here.
Yes, I am.
Actually here in the studio.
Yep.
And I hope you bring some of these people you're talking about in here and have the audience in the background with you.
I definitely. I wish I should. I didn't know we were coming live tonight, or I would have been telling people like crazy. Because anybody who knows me knows that I'm a promoting.
It's a surprise.
I'm a promoting fiend about all my shows and whatever I've got going on. Just go look on my Facebook page and you'll see how often I'm posting about whatever's going on, because it's what you have to do.
If you don't promote yourself, who else is going to?
Exactly.
Self-promotion, people. It's all what it's all about.
So I'm doing a lot of shows. Actually, I've got this Saturday, I'm playing at James Brew in Jamesburg with Nick Clemens.
Oh, that's this Saturday?
That's this Saturday. Yeah.
I might come.
The 24th, we're playing at James Brew in Jamesburg. And that's with Nick Clemens is going to be there.
Jamesburg, that's right out of Heightstown, right?
Right off 522. It's right on the border. South Brunswick is like right in the Monroe area.
Okay.
And it's on West 22 Railroad Avenue, I think is the name of the road. I might
bring my wife there. I definitely want to go.
And on the 8th,
hear you guys.
On the 8th of March, which is a Friday, we're playing right down the road at Hamilate.
That's what you told me. Yeah.
That on March 8th, Nick and I are doing a show there.
I'll go there too. I'm going to go to both places.
So they're great little coffee houses. I think on the 3rd, I'm playing at Christopher's Pub, which is a Sunday. I'm playing at Christopher's Pub. So I'm doing a lot of shows. I'm having fun with it.
Are you doing any around your area, Princeton area?
Princeton, no. I'd love to get, into some places in Princeton. As far as getting out and playing, I'm still, getting my feet wet and trying to find all these different places. And, it's like I said, I'm working on some new places that hopefully I'm going to hear back from. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their names just yet, but the James Brew, El Espresso is what they go by. That's like the company name. But the one in Jamesburg is called James Brew, and the one in Hamilton is called Hamilate. She's kind of playing on the towns that they're in. But they're great places to play. Definitely go check them out. They're great places.
All right. Well, I want to tell people, please like, share, and follow this if you can. Timothy, and Laura, if you can. I also want John to play another song maybe on his guitar. You want to play on your guitar?
Sure. I will play on the guitar.
And you pick whatever song you want.
Whatever song I want.
If you guys got any comments, please comment to me here. You can also comment, on Facebook too.
Let's try something off the new album.
Sounds good. Put the wire in.
Where is it?
Right there on the chair.
Oh, okay.
Point it right in.
That would help.
And Ruben, could you make sure that his thing is on for the wire?
Okay. Can everybody hear that? Or
Yes, we can.
we're good? Okay. All right. This is on the new album. And a few people have said they really dig this song. So the song has a little bit of a serious connotation to it that I can get into afterwards. Just from the exterior, it has one meaning, but there's more behind it. So it's a song called "I Can't Take It." So let's give it a shot here. Here we go. Sometimes you just got to let go. Sometimes the feelings change. Don't always stay the same. Sometimes you just forget to show. Say the hardest part is the night. When you're on your own and you're all alone, there's no one to hold you tight. Can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I watch you walking out the door. I can't take it. Can't take it no more. No more. No more. When your feelings have been cast aside, let the pain come through. There's nothing that you can do. Don't try to run and hide. Been together for so very long. There's not much more than we could do. And hold each other tight while we say goodnight for the very last time. I can't take it anymore. I can't fake it anymore. I watch you walking out the door. I can't take it, can't take it, can't take it anymore. I can't fake it anymore. I watch you walking out the door. I can't take it, can't fake it no more. No, I can't take no more, no more. We've been together for so much more than we could do. Hold each other tight while we say goodnight for the very last time. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I watch her walk in out the door. I can't take it. Can't take it no more. No, no, I can't take it anymore. Anymore.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, people, I love that. It was good. And is that from the new CD as well?
That's for the new album.
Okay, that's called Can't Take It Anymore?
I can't take it.
I can't
I
take
can't
it.
take it.
I love that.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of great songs on this album. I think Laura's right. She said there's not a bad album. I get that. She's going, woo. That's so cool. Thank you.
Cool.
Timothy loves you too. Yeah, that's
Good.
awesome. And me and Timothy go back. When I actually lived in Groveville, he was one of my friends. We grew up together, went to school together. So we have that long relationship since the early '60s together. Which is, a lot of my friends. It's like they've gone one way and I went the other.
Yeah.
So my friends are pretty much my family.
Yeah.
And my friends,
Gotcha.
One of my co-friends. But it's funny, like you said, life gets in the way, and you just, when I started being a musician and doing things like that too, it takes a lot of your time.
Yeah.
And you just, you have to develop what you want to develop from it, the creativity type of thing.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the way you wrote this CD.
Well,
Or what kind of mindset were you in?
well, so some of the songs on both albums are very old. And, so like the first album, just to dive into that real quick. So the album is called My Past Is Here. That's the first album. And it's a play on the whole idea that a lot of these songs I wrote in my past, in my past.
Right.
And my wife kind of came up with the name because I said, I'll give her credit.
You better.
She's not on Facebook, but she'll see this later. I just said, I want something about my past, and I want something about my past because that's what these songs are. And she said, "What about My Past Is Here?" I was like, "That's perfect," And so on the first album, a lot of these songs were written years ago. And when I say years, I'm talking, like "So Wrong," the song I played that you like. I didn't play it today. You know what I mean? When we and so "Wrong." I wrote that song probably 35 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But I knew it was a good song. And when I wrote it, I knew it was a good song. And I wrote it when I was heartbroken, and the song screams that, "So Wrong." It's, if you listen, maybe I'll play it later.
We have that time. We have a little time.
And some of the recordings are very old, which, I try not to tell too many people because I don't want them to read anything into it. But, but I had these recordings, and I was like, boy, they're just going to waste. So that was the first album. That was kind of the songs that I had in the can, and I kind of felt like these represent me very well. And then with the second album, Dreams Are Real, that actually comes from a lyric from one of the songs on the album called The Game. On the album, not the song by Queen, but it's by its own song called The Game. And it's talking, that song is talking about the fact that it was kind of a rite of passage song when I wrote it, talking about how I made it on my own, and I had a pretty rough childhood growing up. My dad died when I was 9. And my mom had to work two jobs just so we could survive. So I was home alone a lot. I could have gotten into a lot of trouble. I didn't, fortunately. But, so that song was kind of a rite of passage, and I made it on my own, and I'm going to do better than everybody else in my life, in my family. I'm going to do better. It's a very empowering song. There's a line in the song is, "Your dreams are real, not just a fantasy." And when I look at what we have going on musically now, and what's going on with all this dream, it's the perfect title. So with this second album, again, there were still some songs that I had, in the can, that I wanted to get out there. But then there was new stuff,
Yeah.
That I had written. So like, "I Can't Take It" is one of the newer songs,
Right.
On the album. And, I recorded some of the stuff at home, a good portion of it I recorded at home. But then there's songs on there that I recorded on both the first two albums, songs that I recorded at a little studio in Jamesburg called Studio 84.
Mm-hmm.
He actually then moved into the Old Bridge area. But really, really great guy named Bill Link, great engineer, great little studio, taught me so much about sound and so that's kind of, again, a very long answer to a very short question, but that's kind of where these albums have come from, and where my mindset was that, okay, I want to take another step, and I'm already have 5 or 6 songs written for the next album. And this one's going to be different. That one is going to be different. But this one just came out, so I don't want to.
No, I know, but to see that you're doing the same thing that every musician does. I mean, you just don't have the one CD ready. You've got many more ready for another one, and maybe many, many more for another one. Yeah. And that's good because I don't know what it is about songwriting. I will say this: when you do write a song, because I co-wrote a song called Bonfire. I think I told you about that. Well, when you write a song, you don't even know where it's going to go. You're just hoping that it gets out there, people like it.
Yeah.
Not that people are going to be attached to it, but you don't know. It could be the next, big thing or up for a Grammy nomination. And if it is, wonderful, right? But that sparks you up for the next set of songwriting.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I did this, but I have more in the tank.
Yeah.
And you just keep cranking them out. You keep cranking them out.
No, it's sometimes when I'm writing, it's just this train of thought, or not, that's not the right phrase, but it's just flowing out of me. And I've tried to write with other people, and sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't.
You get a mind block.
Because, well, no, I mean, I'm
they're not on the same. They're not on the same thing as you, because I went through that with some other people.
Well, with me, it's the way I describe it to people is that when I'm writing a song, the song's already written. It's already done. I'm just transcribing it. It's a weird kind of situation.
Let me ask this question: is the music usually first or the lyric usually first?
It's at the same time.
It just evolves that way.
Yeah, I get very frustrated if it doesn't move fast enough, because what happens is I'll be writing, and I was writing with a friend one time, okay, and I played.
Answer his question when you're done too.
Okay, I will. So I was writing with a friend, and I said he had like a thought. He's like, "What about this?" And I'm like, "No, that's wrong." He's like, "How can it be wrong? The song hasn't been written yet. What do you mean it's wrong?" And I'm like, "It's already here." Yeah. So so sometimes it's very hard for me to write with somebody else because it's done. I'm just transcribing it. It's weird. It's just a weird vibe.
I understand.
So what was the question?
It says, well, I'm going to read it for our listeners because next week we're going to be live on the radio. So can't wait till you unveil the song you showed me yesterday. That's going to be an epic hit. What song did you show my friend or Laura?
Oh, I played a song. So my sister passed away in December.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. And I had started this song when another friend of mine had passed away, and it's a song called "Time," and it's really sad. Okay, but it talks about time and how we all take it for granted.
Oh yeah,
and how we all believe we've got more of it. And at the end of the day, we just wish we had more of it, regardless of whatever position you're in. You could be completely healthy and you want more time. You could be dying and you just want more time. It's a very, very good song. I've played it a few times at some of my shows for people just to find out if I think it's any good or not. And the sing it if you can.
we might sing that near the end. We'll keep the time one as the end song. That'll be the ending song, okay? Or we can play it. We can play it.
I haven't recorded it yet.
Oh,
It has not even been recorded yet.
oh, so he wants you to sing it.
Yeah, they want me to play it, and I'm willing to if we want to do that. That's fine. It's a good song and it's very pretty, and it's tragic. So I finished it. I had started it when a friend passed away, and I put it away and just it was there, and I was goofing around on the guitar when my sister got really ill the last 6 months of last year, and I just started finishing it, and I played it at one of my shows, and in all sincerity, there wasn't a dry eye in the place when I finished it.
Oh, I got to talk about that too, because I have to make a comment, and I'm going to talk about something else real quick because I want to get you off this. But in the 80s, there was a song called "Time" by Alan Parsons Project. And time flowing like a river.
Yeah, great song.
Man, every time.
Yeah.
And if that's that type of song in that type of reference, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's always that if the grandmom had more time, or if the whatever situation you're in. But I want to talk about something else real quick.
If I can add one little note, a common thread on both of my albums and almost every song I've ever written, okay, is loss. If you can almost look at every song that I've written,
yeah, I noticed that.
And there's a certain amount of tragedy and loss for two reasons. One, I grew up on loss. My dad, not to go back to that, but my dad died when I was 9 years old. So my basically a good portion of my life was about loss and about dealing with a loss, and trying to deal with it. And I also feel that songs that have that reach you, touch your heart, tend to be the sadder ones. And Elton John and Bernie Taupin wrote "Sad Songs Say So Much," and it's the truth. Now, that song is a pretty happy, peppy type song, even though it's saying sad songs say so much, but it's the truth. So I tend to gravitate towards writing, writing a song about something sad and tragic. And so it's unfortunate. I don't write many happy songs, it's actually hard for me to. So I'm sorry,
No, I was gonna talk a little bit about your upcoming show and what you think you might be doing on it. So you just let people know what you might be doing on it.
Well, again, Nick and I are doing two shows together. Somebody's calling me. No, Nick and I are doing two shows together this Saturday, the 24th at James Brew, and then on Friday, March 8th. We're playing at Hamalate in Hamilton. And, I'm going to be playing songs off the new album because I really haven't been playing them because I've been holding back playing them until the album came out. And when I had the album release party, I basically played it from Spotify. I didn't really play any of the songs. So the next couple of shows, I'm going to be playing a lot of the new songs off the album. And my friend Laura is going to join me at the show on the 8th, and we're going to do a few songs together that we've been rehearsing. So that's I guess that's the cool thing that I think is going to happen at those shows. Also, and this is completely like spur of the moment that I'm throwing out there. A local friend of ours, gentleman named Matt, passed away last week. We all went to school. We all went to school together. And Matt was coming to a lot of my shows. As a matter of fact, he was at the release party a week and a half ago. He was there with his daughter, and he unexpectedly passed away. So I'm trying to come up with an idea to do something to help the family through this tough time. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about doing, is some sort of a show.
That's really nice. No, but I'm talking about your show that you're going to be doing here.
Oh, this show.
Yes. That's okay.
So,
that's okay.
Okay.
That's
So
okay.
the radio show. Okay.
Yeah,
so
the radio
So
show.
the radio show. All right. So I have lots of great ideas for this. I can already say that the first episode, which is going to be on March 4th, right? Yeah, March 4th.
Yep.
The first episode is going to be time machine songs. Now, we all have music that as soon as we hear it, brings us back to a moment in time.
Instantly.
Okay.
Yep.
Whether it's, it brings you back to high school, or it brings you back to being in the back of the family wagon on your way to a drive-in movie, or whatever it might be. I mean, there's all these songs that bring you back to a moment in time, and they are music is the ultimate time machine. I mean, that's what I love to tell people is that whenever you're feeling lonely, or you have those moments where, God, I wish I could go back in time. Well, you can. You absolutely can. You can get that feeling that you had, put on a song that makes you bring that. So the idea is, I have a list of songs that for me are time machine songs. So I'm going to share those songs and what moment in my life they bring me back to, good, bad, or indifferent. And then I'm going to, open it up to, people who are listening as to what their, time machine songs are. And if I can't play them, I'll at least share if they're tweeting it, or if they're
here's the thing, if you're on YouTube, you can.
Okay.
Facebook, yeah, it's a touchy subject with music.
Yeah.
If sometimes independents, they don't even let play. That's why I mentioned like TikTok. If you go on, I know you're on TikTok, but if you go on TikTok and watch some of the artists perform, they'll do like a 1 or 2 hour concert and get like a lot of people to like them from all over the world that they don't even know they got. And you can perform live right on there.
Yeah.
And you don't really need Facebook. Facebook's a nice, generality, but it's more like what MySpace used to be like now, I think.
Yeah.
Because they don't let you post everywhere and all the, the royalty issues and stuff like that. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
The more places you put yourself, the better off you are as a musician, a well-rounded musician. But let's figure out, maybe do another song, and we'll end with time. What other song would you like to do? Do you want to do it acoustically, or do you want to do it on the Spotify?
Let's see. Why don't I play So Wrong?
Okay.
Or I can play the song that they were asking for.
And then do time at the end?
Well, I was going to say I could do Time now, or I could do So Wrong now.
It's whatever you want to do. You pick. You're the boss. You're in charge.
That's never the truth. But,
well, your wife's not here, so you are.
That's okay. Let's do So Wrong.
Okay.
So I got to unplug this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And grab the...
Ruben's got you.
All right.
He's going to put together guitar in.
Are these songs because of marriage?
No. This song, hold on. All right. So this song I wrote when I was brokenhearted, before I met my wife. So that's why I don't write as many sad songs anymore, because I'm not that sad.
Yeah, this is really good song. I heard this the other night, but time is coming up, Laura. We'll definitely end with that. This is John Ezzo.
All right, so this is a song called So Wrong, and this song, this is off my first album, My Past This Year, EzzoMusic.com. But when I wrote this song, a former editor of Billboard magazine named Larry Flick found this song and added it to a playlist of one of the best new songs of 2022, which was really cool. Every week, Larry chooses 5 songs, and 1 week he chose this song. So it's pretty cool. I got a lot of streams out of it, which was neat. And Larry's a good man, and he's already started listening to the new album. So hopefully he told me to listen to the new album.
Cool. That's awesome.
So anyway, This is So Wrong.
Little girl, I know you're going away, and I know by the things that they say, I can tell by the look in your eyes. Is it you or just a disguise? Tell me if I'm wrong or right. Was it love or just a night? Won't you tell me where do I belong? Was I right or wrong? Now that everything I'm living for is gone, won't you tell me where do I begin? Where do I fit in? Now that everything I'm living for is gone. So wrong. So wrong. When I close my eyes, I see your face. I can almost see your smile and feel your embrace. On those lonely nights when you're not there, tell me what can I do with this feeling I can't share. Can't share. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. Was it love or just a night? Won't you tell me where do I belong? Was I right or wrong? Now that everything I'm living for is gone, won't you tell me where do I begin? Where do I fit in? Now that everything I'm living for is gone, won't you tell me where do I belong? Was I right or wrong? Now that everything I'm living for is gone, won't you tell me where do I begin? Where do I fit in? Now that everything I'm living for is gone. So wrong. So wrong. So wrong. So wrong. Thank you.
I just have to make a comment before we hold on. I just have to make a comment for people that are watching us. Give shout outs to my good friend Jimmy Aschenbenner from the band The Outsiders, the 60s band. Jimmy is the guitar player. Jimmy, thanks for watching. George Finizio, my good friend, Mr. Music, we call him. He's a great music artist from around Florida area. Known George a long time. Great piano player, keyboard player. Stephen Keller, also a great friend of ours, for a great guitarist, and he's with a lot of great bands in up North Jersey. So I wanted to give them shout outs. And also
Cool.
Laura and Timothy Floodman, thank you for being here. We have a Facebook user saying great time, great tune. I don't know who that is because Facebook doesn't allow you to see the name.
Gotcha.
You know.
Well, somebody thinks it's
Well, that's good. That's good. But we're going to end with time. Is there anything else that you want to comment or talk about before we end the show?
No, just that, number one, thank you for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to a future of more things like this and doing the show, my own little radio show, and I know I'm going to be doing also Jerry's show
Yeah.
In May,
Right.
which is I'm very excited about that too. So that's pretty cool. I think that it's just what's that?
Don't do Elvis, he says.
Oh, don't play him, really?
No, he's just kidding.
Oh.
He knows how big of a fan she is.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I do a mean, Suspicious Minds, but no, I'm just, I'm very excited about the future, and I'm excited about the new relationship that we're putting together here.
Absolutely.
And I hope everybody will go to the website and check out the website and the shows, and that's it. Just I want to thank everybody for all the support.
Well, I want to thank John Ezzo for coming in today, and we got started a little bit late. He didn't even know it was going to be live.
No,
it was a kind of a
I would have
surprise
told
to him.
people. I swear, I would have gotten a bigger crowd. I promise you.
It's
I
okay.
promise you would have been a bigger
It's
crowd.
okay, because this is going to probably go. It's on YouTube now. It's on Facebook, but definitely be on Hamilton Radio next week. I'll let him know what day and time it'll be on. But then after he does his show on March 4th, it'll be a regular on the station the following week. So you'll be able to hear his show on Hamilton Radio. That's on Alexa, Google devices. It's on iHeartRadio. It's also on Roku, Live 365, and of course anywhere else that we are. We've been putting each other for years. So, but again, thanks to John for being here, and of course I'll see him every now and then at a Wednesday night, because Wednesday nights we're usually busy with doing things. But
Yeah.
you're always at Friendlies
Yes.
with Kevin's crew. But yeah, thanks for being here. Give another idea where they can get your stuff.
EzzoMusic.com, EZZOmusic.com is the website. It's got all my shows. It's got all the CDs are there. There's actually a sale right now because they're $10. They're $15 a piece, but if you buy both albums, you get them for $25.
Yeah.
So
Good.
we're doing that. And again, I'll be at James Brew this Saturday. Me and Nick Clements will be playing at James Brew in Jamesburg. And then the 8th, both Nick and I are going to be at Hamilate in Hamilton, right on Route 33, 1971 Route 33. And there'll be other shows coming up, but I will be back on the radio telling people about them. So, but that pretty much sums up what's going on.
And also, hey guys, if you do like his music, please comment. I mean, the best thing that he can hear is, I love that song, or that song's relatable to me, or something resonates with that song in my life. And, it just makes a songwriter feel good,
Yes,
right?
it
really
Yes,
does.
it does.
Because you think you're out there by yourself writing songs,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden people start saying things to you. You're like, wow, I never thought that, all these people would think
here's
this
the
way.
funny thing. It's so funny you say that, because, all right, so the first album, I chose the songs that I felt were the best ones, okay? And the second album, not that I didn't think they were good songs, but a lot of those songs were leftovers. They were ones that not a lot, but a good portion of them were songs that I felt didn't make the cut. And there are people telling me this is a better album than the first one. People are like, I really think this one's better. And I mean, like, so much do I know about my own music, because people are liking songs that I felt didn't make the cut.
Yeah, see, and we'll touch on this maybe next time, but I just want to say your creative style changes, or it can, be the same, but it's the level you go up to. Like I said, with writing songs, you start feeling more comfortable writing songs. You start, going outside the box, if there is a box, type of thing. And you feel more comfortable with chord structures and changes in sounds. And
Absolutely.
again, it's all part of, as a musician, growing as a musician, listening to different music, the influences and all that, all adds to it. Again, thanks guys for being here. We're going to listen to Time as soon as he's ready. And we're going to say thanks, everybody, for watching and listening to us. And I hope you have a great night. He's going to take us out with Time. John is out.
All right, well, I want everybody to understand that I was not prepared to play this. So
well, that's Laura and Timothy's fault.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely.
But thank you for that, guys.
I don't know if I was ready for this. Let's see here. Okay. Let's let's give it a shot. Here we go. All right, so this is a song.
Yeah, he's got you. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is a song that has yet to be recorded. I started recording, but it's not out yet. It's a very poignant song. It's about what we all wish we had more of, time. Looking back at younger days, I can see mistakes I made, words you never get to say, pain that seldom seems to fade. Stand your ground and you live in peace. You always want to feel release, but deep inside you know it's there. The pain you feel is hardly fair. Space and time, your wounds they heal. The aftershock is all so real, but letting go seems so wrong. You hope and grieve for so long, and you hold out your hands with faith in your heart. Give it a chance, you can make a new start. But what's missing in life is now we're far apart. And I find how I wish I had more time. Time to say what's on my mind. How I wish I had more time. Faded photos on the wall, memories that come and go. What comes back, no one knows. Memories that come and go. Stand your ground and you live in peace. You always want to feel release, but deep inside you know it's there. The pain you feel is hardly fair. Space and time, your wounds they heal. The aftershock is all so real, but letting go seems so wrong. You hope and grieve for so long, and you hold out your hand, space in your heart. Give it a chance, you can make a new start. But what's missing in life is now we're far apart. And I find how I wish I had more time. Time to say what's on my mind. How I wish I had more time. Time to say what's on my mind. God, I wish I had more time.
All right, man. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you very much, everybody.